What's up, guys? Coming to you. I want to talk to you about Action Comics number 1004 and Superman number 4. So, was it worth it, DC, uh, to get Bendis? It's still up in the air, I think. He's had some good books and some bad ones, and I don't think either of these really rank in the good ones. So we'll start with Action Comics number 1004 because I actually mostly enjoyed this one. So most of this book issue is Clark finding out about Lois and why she's back. And so I'm just like, it's about time. It's about time we found out. And there were some really great moments in this. So I enjoyed this to some extent because to some extent I thought it was handled well. So Lois is back and she's arguing that they don't have a normal life, and some reason that means that she needs to have her own place so that she can write. And I'm just like, I'm not sure if any of that makes sense. She wrote a book while they were living a normal life back in what place that they were living in, Lois and Clark, Superman, back at the beginning of but right before Rebirth. So I don't know. They do have this lovely moment where as soon as they meet, they hug and kiss. And there's a cool double page in here where he's saving the world. Kind of neat. Her reasoning makes zero sense. I don't know. Like, he feels like Superman. And she feels like Lois Lane. I feel like he does a great job with that. But I just don't know. I don't know that it makes sense. Any of it makes sense. If anything, I feel like the entire book or the entire issue is Bendis trying to explain his rationale for what they're doing. And I feel like he's realized maybe he's made a mistake, or by taking Lois away, or that he's trying to make up for it and lead to basically get to where Lois and Clark are separated, but not separated. So I think he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. He wants them separated, but not separated. Don't have any idea what that means. I did enjoy some of to some extent, I enjoyed that Clark knew that despite everything that was going on, he trusted Lois. With the Lex Luthor stuff going on in there. But, I'm not sure if that's how Lois would have ever handled it. Sure, she loves, writing and being a reporter. But Lois and Clark have always been Lois and Clark first. They, maybe early on they start off and they focus, like Clark's focuses on Superman, and Lois focuses on being a reporter. But once they get together, they're Lois and Clark first. They're family first kind of people, and that's one thing I've always loved about Superman. I don't think her reasoning makes sense for not liking Jor-El. I just didn't feel safe with him. I just wasn't safe with him. That you said that like 5 times. It doesn't make any more sense when you say it multiple times. So I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with the way it went. I was thankful that he made them a happy couple again, but I wasn't sure why we even had to do all this to begin with. And I just don't like the idea of her not being with Superman. Her and Clark not being together. I just didn't understand why that really had to happen. So, Action Comics number 4, I feel like the problems with it is mostly it's trying to deal with the problems of the first issue, which was the major problem that it's running into now. So if it were not if it weren't for the bad reasoning that happened in the past, Action Comics 1004 would have been an okay issue. Probably even a good issue. It's just that it's dealing with a stupid decision made months ago, and now it's trying to explain that away. So, anyways, and then the other one, Superman number 4. To be honest, I didn't want to. I mean, this is an okay cover. I don't mind it. It's kind of reminiscent of Doomsday. But to be honest, I would have rather had a really awesome Superman foil cover rather than Rogue Al-Zar. I mean, I don't mind the villain, but yeah, I'll say there's a couple things that I enjoyed about this issue, but overall, this issue was really boring and made no sense. And I'll get to that in a second. First of all, when I see a page like this where it's all exposition, I tend to just gloss over it. I'm just like, I did it in Plastic Man number 4. It's done it in several other, or Plastic Man number 5. It's done it in many issues, and it's really lazy writing. That's all it is. I mean, I understand trying to catch people up, but when you're in like the part 4 of a story, I don't need to be caught up. Like, I've been reading the other 3. So just make it happen. Let me be a little confused if I'm new to it, but focus on the good writing. I don't need to be caught up in, and the writing is so terrible here. It tries to be meta, I think, sometimes, and just fails. He says, I can't seem to beat him in physical confrontation. I can't win in hand-to-hand combat. Why are you repeating yourself? Hitting him serves no purpose. Why are you repeating yourself? This is what Ma called herding cats. I was like, okay, whatever. And it's a big splash page, which isn't bad. Like, the artwork is pretty good in this. So I don't think it's the artwork that's the problem. So the fight scene's okay. I was okay with that. They do this really cool thing with where he's falling to Earth, and he's remembering some stuff with Superboy, and I really love that. Except I don't think Superman would ever joke about punching Batman's head off. Now he might joke about like knocking Bruce's lights out, or he might joke about punching him in the face, but I don't think he'd ever lightheartedly joke about punching his head off. That just seemed a little too far. I like the sentiment he's going for, that sometimes he thinks about beating Batman up because of the stupid things he does, and then patience is the best way to fight. But I felt like the specific wording, punch his head off, was a little un-Superman-like. So that's a little critique. Now the big problem with this issue isn't that, because I thought the first half of it was really good. It's really when you get to the plan, and everybody talks about the plan, and nobody knows what the plan is until Superman spells it out for him. Somehow Adam comes up with a plan, which I'm glad that we have all these other heroes in there. That's really cool. Although I felt like Martian Manhunter should have showed up and taken on Rogue Al-Zar with Superman, but that's neither here nor there. I thought his pleading with the Kryptonian villain was a good idea, because I'm like, why would you fight for the guy who literally destroyed our home? That was a good moment. So I guess this book isn't as bad as I thought it was. There's some really good aspects to the book, but I really hated some of the writing in here. It's let me see if I can't get to it. Flash, can you do this? And then Flash says something random. He says, can you do this? Don't talk me out of it, Ray. Just tell me what to do. But then later he says, I'm just going to run where Ray tells me and do what Ray says. I feel like, so Superman gives you the plan right here. Uh, Ray Palmer's like, Superman, do you need me to talk you through this plan? This plan that he hasn't said anything about. And then suddenly Superman says, does it involve you shrinking the entire Earth, then using the Phantom Zone projector to get us out of here, and then constituting it on the other side? It does, Ray Palmer says. Then just do it, Superman says. And then out of nowhere, no one's talking to him, Flash says, I'm just going to do what Ray says. I'm like, what is Flash even doing? He starts running. But no one's told us why he's running. Why is he running? How does Superman suddenly know Ray Palmer's plan without asking? I felt like this whole page over here, just 2 pages before, he could have explained the plan rather than blathering on about other things that he talks about. And this is okay for any of the leaguers listening, including Superman. He's already been talking to you. Why are you talking to him in the third person? I have a theoretical solution, but it's nuts, and it's kind of the thing I always think of. But I think that's why you called me here in the first place. Just say you have a plan. Come on, man. Just get to the point. Oh, that's terrible. And the Flash is showing up and looks like crap, but he is going to help. Okay. Glad the Flash is there. Didn't know somebody said. Anyways, so this whole battle was kind of dumb. And, Adam Strange is there again doing nothing. It's pretty much the exact same scene as the last issue. Why is he doing the exact same thing? I don't know. I mean, you could have had the Earth show up again or something. We didn't have to go through pretty much the exact process as the previous one. I don't know. Anyways, I've enjoyed Bendis' run in Superman and Action Comics. These 2 issues I don't think are as good as the others. But I wonder, does these, few issues that he's written, which are okay, they're good in some aspects, are they really justifiably good in that? Was it worth it for you, DC, to do this? To hire Bendis and kick Tomasi and Gleason off of Superman? Was that really worth it? Now, to be honest, I like Action Comics a lot better than I liked it before. I was reading Superman, which was Tomasi and Gleason, but I wasn't reading Action Comics. Now I'm reading both, and I'm enjoying both for the most part. So in that aspect, whoever was writing Action Comics, I just didn't enjoy last time. But this time, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to it's easy to confuse the 2 nowadays. I'm just like, did that happen in Superman or did that happen in Action Comics? Which isn't a bad thing. I feel like there's a different feel for both comics. Action Comics tends to deal more with Metropolis, whereas Superman can deal with more of interplanet stuff, or deal with Superman doing other stuff. Superman seems to focus more on what's going on in the Superman family. And Action Comics seems to deal more with what's going on in Metropolis and the Daily Planet. So you can tell some differences there, but yeah, they cross over a good bit in this one. And last time they were just so different. I just didn't enjoy one of them. But you tell me, what did you think? Was it worth it for DC to hire Bendis? I'm still up in the air about that, but let me know what you think. And I will catch you next time. Peace.